I'm Michael Kowal, and welcome to Ravens TV. This is the March edition, so we're going to have, with some winter sports, girls volleyball, boys hockey, and the swim team managed to make it to OFSA. Curling team is playing for bronze, and the boys senior basketball team won CASA. We'd like to thank Nicholson Catholic College's coaches and staff for being such great hosts to us when the SHSM and Digital Media Club came and live streamed the game with Coach Co Your TV Channel 4. So without further ado, let's get on to the show.
Hi, welcome to Raven Television. I'm Olivia, and we're here with some junior girls volleyball players. Hello.
I'm Nina.
I'm Neva.
So, first question is, what positions do you guys play?
So I play a setter. I've never played setter before, so this year is something new for me, but I quite enjoyed it.
I was middle, which meant I was in the middle. It's pretty self-explanatory. Do you want to talk about 6-2 and how you switched?
Yeah, so in volleyball you can play different systems. So there's 5-1, so 1 setter, 5 hitters, or 6-2, which is 6 hitters and 2 setters, which is what we did this year. So we would have 2 setters on the court, and it just means more kind of rotation and kind of switching, which kind of made it confusing, but by the end of the season I think our team was working well together.
Do you like playing this formation better than other formations you guys played?
I personally have never played 6-2, and I was used to a 5-1 system going into the season, so it was a bit confusing, especially for the setters, but by the end of it, there are some benefits.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as Nina, but I'm also not a setter, so it didn't really affect me that much.
It's more on the setter's job for the 6-2, because you're on the volleyball court, you would have the back row setter be setting, so there's a lot of running involved.
What does a typical practice for you guys look like? How long do you practice? What do you do? Drills?
So we practiced about 3 times a week, 2 times sometimes.
Usually. Yeah.
And at the beginning of the year we would practice from maybe 4 to 5, but at the end we started practicing earlier, so 3 to 4.
Usually our practices, we try to have practices after games, and then we reflect, or we look at what we did in those games and how we can improve, and then we do drills on that, like service eve or getting holes, stuff like that.
What are your highlights from this past season?
I think Bay of Quinte was definitely a highlight for us because we were 6th, I think, so far before going into Bay of Quinte. And then Bay of Quinte, we became 1st in our pool, and we beat a really good school. We beat Bayside. We were pretty proud of that.
Yeah. I think as a team we improved a lot, so overall that's a highlight.
And what about challenges?
I feel like there's a lot of challenges kind of within the team, like not calling the ball or not getting out of the setter's way, but I kind of liked how we noticed those problems earlier in the season, so by the end we were able to work on that, which made us a better team.
Anything you wish you could have done differently?
I wish I could have kind of got to know the other setters better, or the other players on our team, because I kind of got used to setting with just one person, so when we had to make subs it was kind of difficult to work with another setter, but that's something I do wish to continue to work on later on.
And this season was a lot different than last year because of COVID. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so last season we didn't play all of the schools. We played, we did pool play kind of throughout the season, and so we only ended up playing 4 or 5 schools. But this year we played all of the schools in our pool, which was 13 or something. So we played a lot more schools, and we traveled a lot more, And I think the season was just like busier this year.
It was also busier because every time we'd have a game, it's 2 games going on in that night. So it's like a long day of volleyball rather than just playing against one school and then leaving. So there's 3 schools during one game day, and then we all play together.
Every game was like a tournament, basically.
Yeah.
Do you find it's harder to keep up with schoolwork because of that?
Yeah. I think it was just difficult because for us too, at least, we have a lot of stuff also going on outside of school volleyball. And so it was kind of hard to manage, but I think it was worth it because volleyball is really fun.
Yeah, I agree, but I also think that it was a good like stress relief, and it was fun. So.
Do you think that next year you guys have a good foundation going into the senior team?
Yeah, I think so. Also, we know some grade 11s, so hopefully our senior team next year will be good.
Our senior team's going to be really
Yeah.
good.
And at least because for juniors there's no OFSA, so CASA was kind of our top that we could go to. So hopefully for seniors, since they do have OFSA, we'll aim for that.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
How was CASA?
It was. I think as a team we like improved throughout the day, which was good. And by the end of the day, we were playing like pretty good volleyball. So
Yeah,
I'm
and
proud of that.
And it was pretty fun. Like we had
Yeah.
some laughs on the court, and
We had to go all the way to Peterborough.
yeah. But it was a nice travel, a nice feeling of kind of the last team.
Yeah. And it was good to play. It was fun to play teams that we had never heard of before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And cheering on our other Belleville team, which was really fun. So.
Thank you for watching Ravens Television.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Ravens TV podcast. I am your host, Addison Press, and today we're here with Tanner. How are you today, Tanner?
Oh, not bad.
So I hear that we're going to talk about some hockey stuff today, because that's been going on recently.
Yeah.
So how long have you been involved with the hockey team here at Eastside?
This is my first year.
First year, okay. And how are you enjoying it so far?
It's really fun.
Really fun? All right. So with that, how long have you guys been practicing for, and how many games have you had and such?
We're about, we have 5 games in.
Okay.
Had a handful of practices.
Okay, and so obviously there's no ice rink here at Eastside. So where do you guys practice?
Wellness center.
Okay, so you practice at the Wellness Center. And so how many nights a week do you usually practice?
Once a week.
Once a week? Okay,
Yeah.
and what are those practices usually like? Like, how are they sort of formatted?
Mostly just like to get us ready for game situations. We mostly have them before our game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel that you should be practicing more, or do you think the amount that you're practicing is a fairly good amount there?
It's pretty difficult because most of the guys on the team do also play rep hockey.
Okay.
So it's hard to fit in our schedule to their schedule as well. So one practice a week is basically all we can fit in.
Okay, that's fair. But so obviously, despite only practicing like as a team once per week, everyone else is obviously getting much more practice in outside of the team because they're on other teams doing other things and such. Okay. So with that, what are your opinions on the other teams so far? You know, like skill levels, sort of how they play. How do you feel about other teams? You don't need to name specifics there, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. The other teams are they're good teams. We've had a lot of close games recently. I feel like we've come a lot closer as a team as well.
Thank you very much for coming on here. Bay of Quinte bylaws, read up on them, know your stuff, just like Tanner here. And yeah, all right, we'll see you around, and thank you guys for watching.
Well, that's all for this episode of Ravens TV. Hope to see you back next month in April. Have a good rest of your month.